Hey there, everybody. Yes, I am in my car again. It's about, I've decided it's the best place, to talk. Let's see, I tried to do a video in the house earlier today, and the cat jumped in front of my face, and it was just house phone ringing, so, I think in the car, no one can bother me in the car, so, when I do videos, I think I'm going to do them in the car from now on. Anyway, I thought I would talk to you guys a little bit, not so much updates on the boys in particular, but just things in general with autism. A common question that a lot of people have asked me, and that a lot of people have asked other parents, and I've read about what they've said in books, and I watched a parent being interviewed one time on the news, and what she said to this question is just kind of a common question, and it is, what is the hardest thing about autism? What is the hardest thing about raising a child or children with autism? Some people may be able to say one thing in particular, but honestly, I don't think I have just one thing. One thing that comes to my head would be the lack of empathy. And it's not that, and I would say there's a large majority of autism parents that would say the lack of empathy. And in fact, the parent interview that I watched, that was her number one thing with the talk show host person that was interviewing her, is, she said the lack of empathy. And the reason with that being said is it would be up there with one of the hardest things. And last week, last week when I was out, going to different places to get sponsorships for the Autism Speaks walk. One thing, I ran into a lady who had a child with special needs, and we were talking, and her child was in a wheelchair and had, several different things, and she told me that she always worried about how people would treat her child, and her child isn't a child anymore. I think she said that she was 21 years old now. But one thing that she was worried about when she was younger was how people were going to respond to her when, growing up and going through school, and she was afraid people would make fun of her and do this and that. And she said that she never really ran across those problems. And I didn't get into it with the lady. And I wanted to say, well, no, you may not have had those problems, but that is one thing that parents raising kids with autism go through, more so of kids with a physical disability. But you can physically see someone in a wheelchair, and you instantly, your heart breaks for them, and you want to help them. But when it comes to autism, there's not that lack of empathy. There's more judging. There is more the making fun of, because they're not in a wheelchair and they don't have anything wrong with them. They don't walk with a walker. They look perfectly normal, and people just think that they're not being disciplined right, or they're just spoiled brats, or, trust me, I've heard all of it. Been there, done that. So, I would say one thing would be the lack of empathy. Another thing that I would say is a really hard part, is the lack of love and expression that your children give you. I was able to enjoy some time with Trenton yesterday because he was home with diarrhea, and he couldn't go to Harsha, so we were able to spend some time together. And we were laying on his bed. He was kind of having a a little quiet moment. He was laying on his bed and we were cuddling, and you probably saw some of the pictures that I posted on the blog yesterday. And I just leaning over and smooching on him and enjoying it. Absolutely, enjoying the day with him. And I know he enjoyed it, but he couldn't express it. I would love for when I wrapped my arms around him, cuddling him in bed, for him just to wrap him so tightly around me. And for all the times that I have said, I love you, Trenton, all the thousands of times that I've told him, just to hear it back spontaneously, it would be amazing. I get him to say it, but it's repeating. All the times that, parents come home and their kids just run and greet them and, "Mommy, Mommy." I want that so badly. So badly that it hurts. And that would definitely be up there on one of my top things on the what's hard about autism, is not being able to get that expression and that love from your child. I mean, I know Trenton, he enjoyed every minute of me snuggling up to him on the bed yesterday, but just how much I would have loved, for him to give me a spontaneous kiss. Even a spontaneous kiss, it's not going to happen anymore. I'll be like, "Trenton, I want to kiss," and he'll just take his hand and go like that to me. Or some days, he'll lean in and kiss, and some days, "Trenton, I want to hug," when he doesn't take his arms and wrap him around me. He just kind of leans in. And I love it. I cherish every minute of those. But that is one of the hardest things, is not having him to be able to show me that expression of love. And yeah, Andrew gives it to us, but again, it's not nearly like a typical child would. I can pick up Andrew at the end of the day at Harsha, and he'll run and, "Mommy, Mommy," and jump up on me. And I am lucky enough to get that. But then I notice, like, other people, when he hasn't seen other people sometimes in a long time, he doesn't give that to them at all. But I am one of the few lucky ones that can get that. When Andrew wakes up in the morning, or like I remember on the weekend here a while back when my parents had Andrew and I picked him up, he was excited and ran up to me right away. But then it was like immediately he went into Andrew's stuff. Not the, "Oh, Mommy, I missed you so much. I haven't seen you for 2 days," or anything like that. Just, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy," and he ran up to me, which is good, because I am the very few people that get that. He doesn't even do that to his own dad, but I guess what I'm trying to say is Andrew shows it to a totally different level, that a lot of kids, that's different than what a lot of kids, give it. It's still not the same, but, we do get it from Andrew, and and it's amazing. But even though we can get it from Andrew, it still doesn't make up for not being able to get it from Trenton. And so that's definitely another hard thing, empathy, and not having a child, not being able to show you the proper expression of love. And those are two of the really hard things that I could sit here and name off so many other things, but I can see that this is already going to a longer video than what I thought. Every time I get on here, I think it'll be a short video, and then I just keep on talking, and it gets longer than what I thought. But, you know, basically, it doesn't matter each day what battle you are facing. There's always something, and it's always hard. And that's with everybody in general. And I guess I'll kind of leave my message tonight doing something a little bit different. And one of my aunts has a saying at the end of her email when she worked, and it says something about everyone, be nice to everybody because everybody's fighting a battle. And boy, is that ever true. Wow, is that ever true. And you know, and that's, I feel like is a really good saying that goes with autism, because so many people judges the kids with autism. Oh, that's just a parent that doesn't discipline our child. He's over there screaming and crying in the store, wanting this and wanting that, but you know, the mom just is ignoring him. No, but behind that, you see that in a grocery store, but behind that might be a scenario sometime where the mom just isn't disciplining her child. But it also could be a situation like mine, where that mother is tired and beat up, because she gets beat up every day by autism. You know, she's tired, she's mentally drained, but she's still out there fighting and being a warrior mom, advocating and educating and doing everything that she can for her sons. You know, she might be in that grocery store with her child having a tantrum like that, and she may not even wanted to walk into the grocery store in the first place, but she's doing that so she can help her child. And she knows that that's the battle that she's going to get into. So remember that. Remember that each time you're in a situation and you're judging someone, you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. You have no idea what that particular situation is. And I've had so many people thank me. So many people thank me about educating them about autism, because it isn't like the lady that I met earlier. Well, I guess a week ago now, last week, you know, that told me that her child, her 21-year-old daughter, in a wheelchair, you know, and that she always worried about people making fun of her. Well, people can clearly see that her child had a disability. You can't clearly see that Trenton has a disability, and you can't clearly see that Andrew has a disability. There are hidden disabilities, and they can be just as bad, if not worse, than the physical disabilities that people see. So I'm going to close tonight with one of my aunt's sayings about we all just need to remember to be nice to everybody, because everybody is fighting a battle. And it's just, it's a hard life. Everybody, nobody has it easy out there. Very few people have it easy. If they have it easy, I don't know, they're faking it or something. But all right, thanks for listening, and I'm gonna get off here, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.